Say the line, Bart.
We can't lose. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. I'm here. Sorry I'm late. Hashtag not my fault though. I had to pump out the Dream Dive video for this morning. Maybe I had to pump. Oh yeah. I muted y'all so I could add the timestamps right then and there. That's how down to the wire I was. Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited. Y'all excited? I do have a lineup of questions, and we'll probably just shoot the shit until Amir's ready. I did confirm with him already, so I think we'll just kind of hang out mostly. Gaku, what's up? Welcome. Thank you so much for the Prime from a few minutes ago. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fly, what's up? Welcome. Thank you so much for the Prime as well. Great stream to get started here. If it's your first time here, welcome everyone. I want to try to make this a great place for the new console players, or just new players in general, I guess. Oh, there we go. So I'm gonna do my best, because sometimes I think I like forget, you know, like, oh, I should probably explain this thing or something like that. Sometimes I forget. Wah. So feel free to ask questions if you don't understand anything, etc., etc., etc.
Yes.
Hey, Daisy, what's up? Thank you so much for the 54 months. What's up, Daisy? You understand the hat? Something about Turnip Boy. Chat, did you know that you can read the Turnip Boy hat because I have my camera mirrored right now. Otherwise, you would not be able to read it. You know what I mean? So in actuality, my room is the opposite orientation than the way you're looking at it, is the best way I can describe it. So if you actually came and looked at my office, you would be like, why is it backwards? Probably. Confusing. You'd be like, why is it so messy? It's not that. It's not too messy. I got the rag. Elvito Tower on the other side. It might be time to retire it one of these days. Not that I really need the room. I have an idea for something in that corner of the room that I could probably use the space for nowadays, but I don't need them anymore. So it would feel quite sad, but it's probably only a matter of time. Retiring the tower before the rag? Hell yeah. What's up, Scoob? Cosmic rays so powerful that a single particle can hit Earth with the energy of a baseball thrown at full speed. What? Would I... Whoa. Does that mean... Whoa. Are we just lucky that we're not getting struck by them? Or is it not like a physical force? I guess. You know what I mean? What's up, Saturn? I like the new updates to Hades too. What is your dreaming boss fight? Dreaming boss next fight with Millenaway Echidna? I'm sorry, I don't understand the second question. I mean, the dream dives are really cool though, right? It's a great addition, and it helps for someone like me who's already kind of just doing like a fun run or two every day, and it just spices things up and makes a bit more unexpected things happen without it necessarily being, you know, the Chaos Trials or something. Yeah, this kind of content feels quite catered to me, to be honest. It feels like this is exactly what someone like me really wanted, you know? They did it just for Dan. The Haelian update. The other thing is that dream dives, right? You don't earn resources. You don't advance storylines. So most people are not going to want to do these because it takes a very, very long time just to earn all the resources and to get through all of the dialogue that the game has to offer, all the narratives, all the storylines, all that stuff. Yeah, so it's a very pure endgame mode. There's no benefit in running these outside of some cosmetics and stuff like that. It's interesting, right? So I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I just thought of another question for Amir that I gotta write down. I don't want to spoil my questions ahead of time for y'all, though, too much. Did I do this just for me? I'm a little concerned. I was like, oh, I should watch the interview we did 6 months ago and just make sure, like, he didn't basically answer this 6 months ago, did he? But I only got to skim it, so I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Memory's a bit of a haze. I mean, it's still important to ask some of the same questions, like, you know, what are they working on now and stuff like that, you know? Things of that nature, I'd say. I think it's still a good idea to revisit some of those. Also, that first interview that we had 6 months ago, that was a few days before the game even came out. So there was probably just a lot of things he couldn't talk about, you know? You know what I'm saying? Scoob, what's up? Thank you so much for the 9 months. Hey, let me open Argus before I forget. Argus. Headset's all set. I'm gonna worry I'm gonna accidentally leak, like, our... I'm always worried whenever I have to use Discord on stream.
I sincerely hope he asked
like show
you
Discord.
about Man, the bathroom, and Double D Dinosaur.
I'd leak our DMs or something like that, and then I wind up as part of some kind of Twitter drama. Although I don't, like, I'm looking at our DMs and it's so nothing. It's just like, so, what time is good for you? Oh, that sounds great. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Okay, me too. It's like the most boring vanilla DMs. You know, not a flex or anything, chat. I guess I'll bust open the game. Baby gators my family caught that you posted in the Discord. I did not. You caught baby gators? Should I be pleased by this? The baby gates? Amir whispered me once on Twitch to ask why he got timed out for saying rare crop. Yeah, we had like an auto thing for that, didn't we? That was funny. Get smoked, Amir. Got him. Oh, speaking of which, while we got 15 minutes, chat. We got 15-ish minutes. Speaking of which,
Something near the comforter.
wife like randomly, so out of the blue too. The other night, just a few nights ago, I think. She's like, I have to ask you a question, but I'm not gonna ask unless you promise not to do it. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I want to talk about something, but I'm worried if I bring it up, then you're just gonna do it. But the main point is I don't want you to do it. I'm like, sure, whatever. She's like, okay, so you know how you time people out as a joke on Twitch, and it's sort of a rite of passage or whatever. Well, I don't want to have that on my Twitch record. So please don't do that to me, even though I'm sure you'd think it's really funny. I'm just like, you know, I never even considered it until now that you brought it up. And she's like, no. The whole point of it was to stop you from doing it. I'm like, you know. She was so sincere about it. She was so serious about it. She was so serious about it. Cute, right? Cute. Hey, Styro, how you been? Thank you so much for the 8 months. What's going on? Huh. Bum-bum-ba-do-do. Ba-ba-do-do. What's up, G-Pal? How you been? Asked you about the bathroom and Double D Dinosaur. I'm not bringing up a Double D Dinosaur. Not in front of Amir. Come on, Chad. Come on. Do. You've never been timed out? Are you missing something? Yes, you are. Fucking got him, baby. V-Dude's never been timed out either. What is V-Dude up now? V-Dude has 62 timeouts. Oh my god. Make it 63. That's what you get, baby. I don't know why you're getting it, but that's what you get. Rack him up. It's very satisfying when I find someone who's like been here for a while and doesn't have any. Like you've somehow escaped it or something like that, you know what I mean? What's up, Leorn? I'm looking for one right now while I bring it up. Spaghetti Zone must have timeouts. 5 timeouts? You naughty little egg. Can't believe you. What about Styro, though? Styro doesn't have any 1,000+ messages sent. 0 timeouts, 0 warnings, 0 bans, you say? Okay, I'm gonna stop doing the sound effect. All right. 10 minutes. We're just gonna relax because I obviously can't get anything done in 10 minutes. Let me make sure I have this all pulled up and everything. Do. Well, let me look at these baby gators real quick too, if I can. Oh no. I think Scoob hacked my Discord. Oh, they're cute. I never thought I'd say it. Caught some baby gators because authorities were rehoming the mama gator, but didn't take these little guys, so we're gonna make sure they get rehomed. Oh, does it hurt when they bite you at that size? A little prickly or something, like a hedgehog? Maybe. Why are they so cute? Yo, Peaches! Oh snap, oh snap, oh snap, oh snap. What's up? Thank you so much for the 20 gift subs, Peaches. Holy shit. Can I time out Peaches? I already did once. I already popped their cherry. I got them to type a comma into the chat. And then I was just waiting. I was like waiting like, oh, ew. Fucking got him, you know? Peaches, thank you so much again for the 20 gift subs. All the gift subs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very generous of you. That's why they don't want to talk, probably. I will have alerts muted during the interview, as you probably would have guessed, chat. Just to warn you now, though. Capiche? 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 Ask Amir to finally give us a health bar on that other final boss. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a bit surprising that we don't get, like, an incantation for that finally, right? I'll give you that much. I'm not so certain that there's... I'll put it in the bonus question thing, because I don't know how long he's going to give us. What is SGG? Supergiant Games, creator of Hades, Hades 2, etc. I do think it's kind of a funny run when you have worry-free from Dionysus, right? Which means you can't see either health bar. You can't see either health bar. There's something funny about that whole premise to me, right?
Shouldn't we mention the goat of German game dev? Johann Gamble Putty Devan Osfern Splinden Schlitter Krass Green Von Fried Digger Dingle Dangle Dongle Dungle.
This is why we can't have alerts on during an interview, by the way. This is why. Playing control is why. When the sequel to Bind Those Keys is coming out. I think I'm pretty sure I teased him about that like multiple times before, so. They could have a funny achievement for that. Yeah. All right, what other potential questions? I make no promises I'll ask. But feel free to pitch here if you got anything interesting you think that I could add here in the last few minutes. Tummies, yes, very good. What a great question, chat, you monsters. What game that we're gonna ask what a process for deciding looks like. What they're working on, ask what their process for deciding looks like. I think I have like a question that, yeah, it's kind of meant to be open-ended, because I know just saying like, what do you got to make next? So he's not going to be able to answer at the end of the day, right? Any plans for a no-clip doc? I do have a question related to that because there was a little bit of leak of info that we had a while ago. Game that you haven't developed that you're hooked on right now. I have a opener that's akin to that, I would say too, because I that's something I really enjoy hearing for some reason from anyone and everyone else. Is just like, hey, what games do you like right now, or what was your favorite game of last year, or something like that. Like when we played someone in Major League Balatro, I don't know, I just really enjoyed hearing what people thought, and you know what really struck them, you know. Did he ask for the extra side boob in the trailer? I considered asking about the trailer opening, but I eventually decided against it. How they keep track, organize the various amounts of different dialogue and random events outside of the fighting. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of the the hardest thing in Hades 2 in particular, because it must just be an absolute spider web maze of just like, you know, that meme of Charlie in front of a bulletin board with string all over the place. That's what it must be. It must be incredibly elaborate and incredibly difficult to keep track of. And it's no wonder that even to this day, they're still adding some small adjustments here and there and fixing some things, you know? Because it's just really, really hard, right? Wasn't there a documentary on that for Hades 1, just on the dialogue? Oh, that I don't remember. Oh, there was a good People Make Games video about this. Wait, have I not seen this? Because I don't remember it off the top of my head. Oh. Now I'm interested in this. Now I'm actually interested, because I feel like I might not have. Does it look familiar? Oh, I can't tell if I've seen it or not. Huh. Not sure. I don't remember, but it is from 5 years ago, right? This mold of mine is long, right? Can you see, really? You can't really see. Maybe you can see if I go like this. Almost knocked over my coffee. Getting long back there. It's hot, right? It's hot. Y'all like it? I bet you do. I bet you do. I gotta have the guts to ask the, some of the other studio members to come on stream and talk to us. I've yet to shoot my shot with anyone but Amir. I'm a nervous boy, I guess. But I mean, they've always been so, like, open-ended about this stuff. And the worst thing I've ever gotten is... The worst response I've ever gotten is just, like, we'll set up something down the line. You know what I mean? So it's safe to say, like, it probably wouldn't be that hard because they're just so... You know, what's the term here? They're just... I don't know. They're so... I don't know. They're so likable. They're so affable. I feel like they have a hard time saying no, right? I mean, they easily could. Darren, I'd love to get Darren. I'm not much for knowledge in the music department, but honestly, from a plebeian's point of view, I'd love to hear some things. I would need more time to prepare for that one, I think, because again, music is not really in my wheelhouse, outside of just like, I think this song sounds good kind of thing, right? But yeah. I'd love to get him in. Darren respond to your DM once. Oh, that's so cute. Darren was cute at the Supergiant concert. Gasp. Couple minutes away, chat. Couple minutes away. When I'm 1 minute away, I'm gonna tell him I'm ready when he is. He's pretty good at Hades. Yeah, they used to say, because I did talk to Darren a little bit when we used to run an event called Hermes Cup, and we had him on, and he was supposedly the fastest player in the studio, if I remember right. So he was probably a big advocate for the speedrunning scene, keeping in things like tight deadline, because there was a question. There was always a question, and I always think about this for some reason, and that Amir said a long time ago, which is that every day he woke up, he wondered if tight deadline should even be in the game or not for Hades 1. I'm sure it wasn't really a question for Hades 2, because it seemed to be, you know, a great addition. But yeah, I don't know why I think about that, because that's the kind of thing that you just assume it's just natural, right? It's just natural. Of course this is in Hades 1. Why wouldn't it be in Hades 1? But they really worried about it. What's the highest fear Amir's being? You know, that's a nice one, actually. We used to ask them what their fastest time was for Hermes Cup. But that's the kind of info someone might not remember off the top of their heads, right? Hey, what's up, Nitro? How you been? All right, let me let them know I'm ready. I got a stock image in case the video feed doesn't work. There we go. He just looks... It looks like I just kind of like caught him and he just stole like 3 coffees from Starbucks or something. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, hee kind of thing, right? All right, he says he's ready, chat. All right, let me give him a ring-a-ding. Start a video call. I don't know if my video feed's even gonna work. Can you hear me, Amir?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear and see you. I will admit.
Am I on screen? Is my resolution the same as last time or better?
It actually looks fantastic, I gotta say, and I gotta make sure everyone sees this right now. Oh gosh, you're so zoomed in. Forgive me. Oh no, I don't. This is my first time streaming, Amir. Forgive me. So I know you're in like San Francisco, California, and stuff, though. But
yeah.
In the studio, do you have
correct.
some bright lights going on or something?
Okay. Yes, I was hoping you would ask about this.
Oh.
So basically, my glasses.
Oh.
They broke
no.
on the. I was wearing these actually the last time we hung out, and they broke as we were approaching the release of patch 2.
Oh no.
And so yeah, I couldn't get new ones in time, so I've been wearing my prescription sunglasses.
So you've been walking around the studio issuing orders like this, Amir?
Well, only in bright parts of the studio. I can't go anywhere dark because I don't know what's happening. But yeah, no, that's been what I'm up to. Hey, I can't see you.
Oh, okay. Let me see
on my Discord.
Let me see. I try it again. Let me see if it's gonna work for you.
Is it not going to because you're also like streaming? Is that the idea?
Maybe. I mean, I barely know what's going on most of the time. It's like fiddling and it's saying it's a problem. I can send you a video. A picture of me when I was 7 if you'd prefer, maybe. Oh wait, did Amir get muted? Oh, hold on. I think I lost Amir here.
I'm back.
Testing. Okay, there you are. Okay, I can hear you again.
I hit the mute button.
Okay,
on my
gotcha.
mic.
Let me turn you up here too.
Okay.
It says failed to start camera. Do you want to live with it or do you want to troubleshoot it?
Let's go. Let's
Let's
go.
just do it, baby. I mean, I'm sure you got meetings to handle and everything, right?
Yeah. I mean, we just launched a patch, so there's and 2 additional versions of the game, which is very exciting. But yeah, there's a lot going on right now.
I would imagine so. Well, I guess if you don't mind, just in case anyone's not aware, do you mind a quick intro for yourself?
Yes. So I'm Amir Rao. I'm the co-founder and studio director of Supergiant Games. At Supergiant, I basically coordinate the work we do together, and I work on game design. So my work is, largely in the tuning and things like that of the powers and figuring out what designs we're going to pursue. Another thing I did and do at our studio is kind of help us turn player feedback into action here. And so those are some of the areas I'm a part of at the studio, and yeah, I've been here for all 16 years of our existence, working with the same group of people who worked on the original game from our studio, Bastion, and original Hades. All of us are still working together.
I know, it's actually amazing. The group has like stayed together this much for so long, right? But also, I gotta say, so you said that you handle a lot of the tuning and everything like that, and player feedback. So if you didn't listen to one of my feedbacks, I can take it to you. If I gave you some great ideas.
Yeah, I think that's healthy. I think if
healthy relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I think if there was something in that realm, I didn't tune everything in Hades 2, but certainly it may have been my fault if you didn't like it.
Okay, so I got a soft opener for here. So first of all, congratulations, highest rated game of 2025. That's got to feel
Thank
good,
you.
Right? I mean, that's got to feel amazing. Yeah. And not to mention, there were some really big contenders last year with Hades 2. So I guess I'd just like to ask, do you have a favorite game outside of the games that you've developed yourself from 2025 maybe that you'd like to
2025?
Yeah, we'll say so.
Yeah. I mean, it was insane to be nominated alongside so many incredible games. And I have to say, one of the games I actually really enjoyed, and just I've had an opportunity because we got to go to those shows to meet some of the teams who worked on that stuff, and their work is super inspiring, and it's awesome to be to just kind of be in the conversation about really great games from 2025. One of my favorite games that we were nominated alongside actually was in some of the shows was Ball X Pit.
Oh yeah.
Yes, are you a Ball X Pit player?
I did. I played quite a bit, and
yes.
They had some great unique twists. I mean, it's in the same roguelike wheelhouse. It's one of those games it kind of takes you by surprise. It's like a budget game, that they're not asking for a lot of money from you, and it just turns out there's just so much to do, and it's just a well polished game, 100%.
Yeah, and it just felt like there was always another thing. It was there's another thing. There's another thing. I love that feeling in games, and the things sometimes were really big and sometimes really strange. And that was one of the ones I really enjoyed from last year that's come into my head. But yeah, no, I mean, there's a ton of games I enjoyed. Last year.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so we'll move on from the other games. Let's get back to the business, so the Hades 2. So how are you feeling about the update, basically, right now?
Good right now, yeah. So there's two big things happening, right? Which is the first is that Xbox and PlayStation players are getting Hades 2 for the first time. So that's very exciting to us. We have so many fans of all of our games. Bastion originally came out on Xbox Live Arcade on the Xbox, and of course Transistor and Pyre and a number of our games in Bastion eventually all original Hades came out on PlayStation. So it's just it feels like a sense of completeness now for us to finally be on all the consoles and on Game Pass and all that stuff, so a lot of people can play it. So that's one big thing that's happening, and the second of course is Patch 2. Patch 2 is also happening. Patch 2 for all people. Yeah, so this is a nerve-wracking time for us because our game development studio turns into a customer support organization where we try to make sure that everything is working well for everyone. And did we miss a spot? Was there something that we need to consider differently? Is our intention coming across in the changes we made? And what are people saying in all the places that people talk about Hades?
Yeah. I mean, well, first of all, the edition that we have here, the main edition, I'd say, besides the consoles and everything, the dream diving, I can tell you're having to do a lot of technical stuff on the side. I mean, you DM'd me personally to say I can see you're struggling, try this and that might fix it. And at the end of the day, it was my fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's really nice of you to see that really hands-on approach and just trying to make sure everyone's having the intended experience from the patch.
Yeah, and I only knew that solution worked because there's a number of people who came into our Discord who were running certain mods, and they were having trouble, and they were able to take some of the feedback from our team and fix their games. It's one of those things where the modders are there've been so many interesting and cool mods for Hades 2, and many of them have a lot of downloads,
Yeah.
and so it's pretty easy for something to go wrong, obviously, when the game just updates across all platforms, and so I'm sure all that stuff is getting into a place of better stability over time, and will. And of course, yeah, sorry to anyone who had issues, who had mods installed or is still having issues with it. I'm sure we'll get back to the status quo on mods and everything else over time.
True. So I'm curious, where did the idea of using Hypnos for this new game mode come from exactly? Because I had a thought last night, which is that you easily could have just tied this in as a chaos trial. It seems very fitting to just have one more chaos trial. Thus, you don't have to go through all this work of adding, the Hypnos dialogue and things of that nature. So I'm just really curious, where did this idea spawn from exactly?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. So patch number 2, I'll take one step back. Where did patch number 2 spawn from?
Oh,
so,
yeah, good.
So basically, for patch number 2, we knew we had a bunch of technical work to do on the Xbox and PlayStation versions of the game. And so it gave our sort of people who work on game content a little window to try and do something kind of in gratitude to our players, and to address some of the quality of life stuff we still saw being sort of opportunities for the game, and kind of investigate some of the balance stuff that we saw people still talking about after the version 1.0 launch. And so we just kind of packaged up all these things that we were interested in trying. And Dream Dives actually was something that we were, during conversation when we were like, oh, what could we do with this kind of mixed region run? It just made sense as a kind of avenue for tying into Hypnos. And it's one of those things where the combination of what we were trying to achieve in the gameplay and just the opportunity, it all kind of came together in a way that felt natural, and felt doable in the amount of time we wanted to work on something, and stuff like that. And so we were like, oh, well, let's just try it and see how it feels. And yeah, we stood it up. It took some time actually to stand up. They're technically a little bit more complicated, and to figure out exactly how we wanted it to work and how we wanted to couch it and all this kind of stuff. And we just ran our process on it and got to where we got with it.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's thinking this, but I just so love seeing Hypnos again in a greater capacity. Just getting to hear him speak again and interact with him was just a great experience on its own. So I absolutely love that you managed to tie him into it, honestly.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's great. I think that part of it is really exciting to see people's reactions to it. You never know, right? With any of this stuff, it's all hard to predict, and so it was just, yeah, people are being very, we're just really happy with what we're seeing in the first day.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So around balance, I wanted to bring up Ares a little bit, because you did talk about how it's something, this is part of your workload potentially day by day. And I think I love the changes, first of all, that you've made to Ares and seeing these extra synergies around sword drops and stuff like that. But I guess I'm curious from your standpoint, I think a lot of people would say the long-term players, the hardcore players, stuff like that, they would call Ares the weakest god. I'm using air quotes right now. How do you feel about that? And did you really think he heavily needed that attention based on pick rates, or was this more of a player feedback thing?
Well, so the player feedback caused us to investigate the data more, basically, is how I describe it. So we've obviously heard this, and we've looked at it several times, and Ares has some big standout stars in his kit, and so that perform well and that are picked a lot. And so this is one of those things where the thread of Ares feedback didn't start at 1.0, right? There's people who during early access had thoughts on what was there. And I think honestly, patch 2, so it's not like we were just hearing about it for the first time when we started patch 2. It's been in the background of our minds of like, well, what is this, and what if anything do we want to do about it? Honestly, the start of patch 2 was just like an opportunity to reset our brains and look at it again. I've had this Alice, one of our technical designers who works on the boons and makes them all. She has thought about the Ares feedback a lot. And so it's one of those things where, sometimes to players, the answers feel really clear and the solutions seem really simple. But we just needed to kind of think about it a while and then kind of reset on patch 2. And like when we were picking Ares stuff and looking at Ares stuff, we were like, oh yeah, we could do something with this.
Nice.
That was a little stronger, or felt like it was pulling together parts of his kit a little bit more and parts of the things he brings to the table. So it was like, the way things happen at Supergiant on the design side when we're trying to address feedback is like, we have our players' experience that we hear about in a variety of ways. We have the data, which we use to see, investigate kind of broader pick and performance. And then we have our own experience, which tends to, weigh heavily also. So it's like, when those things line up, then suddenly something happens, Like, okay, well, why don't we try something here? And so that was something that was kind of interesting. We were able to kind of, do some stuff with it. I think you'll we were quite cautious, I think. So there's, once a game is 1.0, we have certain things, you brought up last time about like, oh, you would rename boons and you would do all this stuff, and it's, I feel like some of those things after 1.0, you don't really want to do. People are used to the game and they want a level of stability with it and stuff. So, so we try to just figure out what stuff that keeps the theme, that keeps tying these pieces together and feels right. And, we hope we've answered it correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's actually a really good point, because I was discussing this yesterday, that, seeing this balance patch, it all makes sense. It's not too heavy-handed. And I'm sure, like you said, stability is a big point after a game is out. So nerfing the strongest things in the game, again, using air quotes here, would probably be a general mistake, I would imagine. So this leads me well into my next question is, do you have some kind of like, I don't know, I guess philosophy or like creed you live by when it comes to the balance of really any game that you've had?
I can speak to the Hades games and our previous games, actually. So I can speak to all the games. Okay. So Hades specifically, we want compelling choices.
Okay.
And compelling choices for us is stuff that the slate of compelling choice is stuff that is sometimes situational and feels really good when you kind of like have solved the puzzle and you pick it at the right time. Stuff that's like kind of evergreen and always compelling in an Olympian's set of things, where you're just like, oh yeah, I really, really want that. Stuff you seek actively if you're using certain aspects or you're trying for something. Just kind of like the sense that there are real decisions to make and that they're hard to make without necessarily being paralyzing, right? And there's something to them, and there's something expressive about them. I think those, we like interesting decisions for that kind of thing, and that it rewards player knowledge and investment over time. Like a player. So I was thinking about this the other day, like with your videos. So if you're a player, right, there's like 3 components to you getting a lot better at Hades. There's your own skill, which is really hard to rapidly level up. Like you just kind of have to do your reps. There is the sort of meta progression. So how much stuff have you unlocked, and what kinds of decisions are you making, and have you found the stuff that really works for you? And then there's like the knowledge piece. And a Haelian video has the potential to supercharge your knowledge and your learning. And actually, as a game developer, when we play our own games, one of the hardest things to do is to like play it as if we know nothing about it.
Yeah.
But that's how first-time players play it, and players over time, they create, you're tapped in, I think, to, you reference it, like the player conversation, the meta around it, some sort of public conversation around it. But even players themselves, they have their own kind of evolved meta from what's working for them and the weapons they like and all this kind of stuff. And that's just a thing that can happen over time, a thing you can sort of start to build on by watching a video, and you can supercharge your knowledge in roguelikes, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I've always said that more than people think, the Hades games are a massive knowledge check. A lot of people think about, I just got to perfectly dash at the right time to avoid this damage or something, and that's how I'm going to get better at the game. But there is so much to learn in the games. It's really not, just a pure hand-eye coordination thing. You just got to know and start to figure out trial and error things and find out what works and what doesn't a lot of times.
Yeah, I think, Greg has said this in other interviews too. It's like the sense of discovery is like what's so great in roguelikes. It's like you need the challenge and stuff like that kind of in order to enable and unlock this feeling, which is like the sense of variety, the sense of discovery. I think in the roguelikes we love and that were inspiring to us, like I was actually playing last year, I was playing a lot of Monster Train 2.
Oh, sick,
yeah, and that game, it's like I just felt like in every win or a loss, I just tried and learned something different. And I think, when roguelikes do that, I think it's just, it's magical.
100%. I mean, it's really about variety. And I mean, you added that in this update 100% too. It's just giving a large variety of modes and everything like that. And it's really near impossible to combine every single thing experience every single different iteration in the Hades games, right? Because you just got 24 different aspects, and then you got, dozens of different boons just from the cores and stuff like that. So it's really hard to really see the duplicates, even after thousands of hours already for myself.
Yeah, and I think, one of the things I was most excited about in the 1.0 update actually was the new keepsakes stuff, all the Fate's Whim stuff, because I think just thinking about your journey into a roguelike, right? There's this like experience you have when you just start to get it and you're starting to piece these things together. And I think we want in the Hades games, and I think many designers do in their roguelikes, that sort of magical feeling of like the puzzle is, you're starting to see how it's all supposed to fit together for you, like the stuff that works for you and the stuff that is going to perform well for you. And with the new keepsakes, so that happens, right? And then there's this kind of like solved puzzle moment for people who get really into the game, where they kind of just have a sense, whether it's completely backed by data or not, that like there is just, with this aspect you want these hammers and these boons and this thing, and this is all you need. And what's kind of sad about that moment is your knowledge like matters a little less. It matters a lot in the sense you need to know those things, but now it's automatic, right? It's like it's why you make boon choices so fast, right? And why you make rerolls so fast when you play. And so almost being able to kind of go back to a state where the randomness was exciting instead of frustrating for you, and your knowledge actually now matters even more because you're starting to make these choices in different ways. And so I don't know, that little curve was really exciting to me, the possibility that it could work, that there could be an alternative play style at the sort of top end for this kind of stuff. And so I was really excited to see that come together, and to see that some of these keepsakes are some of people's favorites to use and all that kind of stuff.
Oh my god, it was an amazing addition. It really breathed life in the game for me in particular, someone who cycles through the game, even if it's just a couple runs a day. It, like you said, it made things more exciting, instead of just being like, I'm going to get XYZ, I'm going to start this run, here's what I'm going to get, here's what's going to happen, the answers before the questions even really come up. This really kind of created problems in the runs themselves and made choices more difficult, because an easy choice is not usually a fun choice, like you've kind of been talking about here, and I think that was honestly it's nothing, certainly not something I saw coming at all, that you would manage to find a keepsake or anything like this that would make taking away the reroll so interesting. But you managed to do it, is what I'm trying to say. All right, I got another question, but this one's a bit tougher, but I'm going to leave it open-ended for you here. So you're welcome to just shut me down if you so chose. But I'm sure a lot of people are wondering about the ending, at least the original one.
Yeah.
So just what happened, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, you know, at version 1.0, we added the true ending to the game, and we started to see some feedback from players and from some players, especially players who were like really invested in the early access and had been playing the game for a long time, just about the ending, about their experience with it, and how it was landing for them. And you know, we cared about the early access feedback throughout development, right? It's the only way we got Hades 2 to the place it got. And so we didn't just stop caring, you know, at version 1.0, we still cared. And so, you know, once we started seeing that feedback, we just kind of ran our early access process on the feedback again, right? We looked at what people were saying. We asked ourselves, what could we do about it, and how could we address it? And you know, we talked through some different solutions, and you know, within a few days after the version 1.0 launch, we had kind of like a plan for how we wanted to tackle it, and we just tried it. We wanted to try, and so you know, it ended up being just kind of an extension of our early access process. You know, we got some feedback on the game, and we wanted to make it better for those players. And you know, a kind of guiding thought for us, as simple as it sounded through our early access, is whenever we made a change, we wanted to make it kind of better for people who were having trouble with it, and make people who liked it already like it even more, if we could. That wasn't always possible with every part of the game and with every change, but if a change could achieve that, we wanted to do it. And so, so we thought we could do that with aspects of the original ending we shipped, and so we tried.
Gotcha. I mean, it makes sense. And you turned it around really quick. Like, it was like 4 weeks or something, Amir, right? So I'm sure you guys were really working overtime to make sure like you got this out there as soon as possible with all the different additions, because it just felt like, you know, you really had to put in a lot of work in such a short period of time to really change it up that much.
Yeah, I mean, it's correct that we took a tremendous amount of focus, and a small group of us who were responsible for working on those changes focused on it. It ended up pulling in almost everyone at some point, you know, to test it, to try it, to give their feedback, to actually work on it. But yeah, it was like, you know, I think the thing with Supergiant, we have such an iterative process, and we had such an iterative process even before we did early access, where, you know, we try stuff, we try to make it better based on our experience with it, or what we're being told about it. And so, you know, just when we have a process like that, you know, we just have to try, you know, we just have to see if we can do it. And so we ended up quite focused on delivering that update. And so, yeah, you know, we just hunkered down. And part of, if you have an iterative process, a thing that really helps is the ability to go fast when you know what you're doing. And I think that's sort of like a superpower of us on almost every level. It's, you know, if I were going to say what, you know, there's several things I'm really proud of about the team, and one of them is this, which is once we know what we're doing, it comes together quite quickly, and the iterations start happening quite naturally, and it gets to something that we're excited to put out.
100%. Yeah, I mean, the creative process, just coming up with ideas and brainstorming what to do now, it can be a real deadlock, I can imagine, where, you know, because you just got to start shooting shots and just see which one manages to stick to a wall or something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's a lot of times it's really, you know, I've talked about this before, it's really problem solving oriented, which works quite well with an early access game, but actually served us all the way back to Bastion. So for Bastion, you know, we were really interested in making an isometric combat game that didn't have a map. And so that ended up being the thing that informed the whole world design of Bastion, the part where the world is destroyed, and the world starts coming up as you move. It was one of the first things we prototyped in the game. I think there's like an old YouTube video where you can see what that looked like. And for us, it was like, oh, wherever the world isn't, you walk towards it, the world appears there, and that's how you know where to go next. And now you don't need a map. It was problem solving for us because in so many isometric games, you play with a map up either all the time, or in the case of something like Diablo 2, it's like overlaid on top of the action all the time. So as you know, I'm a big fan of that game, but of course we were trying to like sort of solve a design problem. So what's really great about a problem solving approach is you can look at what other people have done. You can ask yourself, is there some particularly like theme appropriate, world appropriate, game appropriate, or novel way we could solve it? There's lots of problem solving approaches here, and different people here think differently about those problems, and we just come to something that works between us. We just have a high amount of trust, and the chemistry of working on stuff for a long time that makes that possible.
Yeah, that's actually fascinating that the whole concept of a game really originated from this one concept, an action RPG with no map. Do you have like a similar tagline to like how Hades came to creation, or Hades 2 even, just like if blah 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 was blah 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 kind of thing?
Yeah, Hades is interesting because I think for Hades it was more we saw an opportunity to do some of the stuff we felt like we had learned to do well over time with narrative and atmosphere and a sense of persistence and stuff inside the roguelike genre. We were inspired by so many amazing roguelike games, but also felt like maybe we had something to add and contribute here.
100%.
And with Hades, we had never done an early access game before, so we were really interested in trying that too, and kind of getting to something quick and building it in partnership with our community. And honestly, we couldn't have tried any of that without the things we learned from making Pyre, which had a more dynamic narrative where we weren't always sure exactly or we couldn't, it wasn't like a linear story like our games that came before it. So we couldn't, we had to just basically react to the player's situation. And we learned so much from doing that. We thought, well, could we parlay that into the dynamism that's going to happen anyway in a roguelike, where, some people will fly through it, some people will fail a lot, everyone will have their own kind of path through it. And could we make a highly, could we do something in our perspective and our voice in that space? I had never really considered that before. I mean, having played all the games several times through, I never really considered the fact that that does make sense, that you mashed Bastion with Pyre into a roguelike kind of thing. But it makes perfect sense now because, like you said, Pyre, it's not, it's not an A to B story or anything. Everyone could experience a completely different story there. So, I mean, I love these little in-depths into the studio, Amir, but I have a very particular question, perhaps, akin to that Simpsons scene where, the wizard's key or whatever. What's the deal with the door in Cersei's room that you can kind of interact with? Oh, yeah. I mean, you're lucky to be on her island. So if your expectation is to go into her house, I don't know. It just doesn't sound, it just doesn't feel like it's an in-character thing. But I have Greg sitting right here to my right. Greg? I can ask Greg. So what's the question exactly? I could try and pose it his way. You can kind of interact with Cersei's door to like her house, and Cersei will say something, but that's kind of it. Oh, yeah. Is that a question? You just said a sentence. Look, Amir, quit splitting hairs. Oh, well, okay. Here's the bigger thing. Was there ever a plan to make use of that or anything, or was it always just flavor? So why won't Cersei let you in? Was there ever a plan to do something different with it? I think is the question that Haelian has.
There was, how much? It's just all the dead bodies, It just.
I don't know if you could hear that, but that's the canonical answer.
He just said it's all the dead bodies, right? It makes sense.
Yeah, it would be quite unseemly. That was Greg's answer.
I knew Cersei had something up. All those perchances that she always says and everything. There's a dark side to her out there. I knew it all along, right?
Yeah, I don't know. You got the answer straight from Greg. What can I say more than that?
Okay, I got to ask this one, and I'm sure it's something that has come up a lot, like forever and always, from fans, from audiences, from other interviews, whatever. Did you ever consider, or will you ever consider, or anything to do with co-op in the Hades games? Any of them, previous ones, current ones, new Hades games, whatever.
Oh, I mean, I can just talk about Hades and Hades 2. For us, we always thought of them as single player experiences.
Okay.
We focused on making a good single player experience, and that was, as a small team, we have to focus, and that was
Yeah.
entirely our aim. We wanted to tell the story of these characters, and we wanted to focus on that kind of game. And a lot of us play a lot of amazing atmospheric, narrative, high variety, high dynamic range single player games, and so that's the stuff we're inspired by and into.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, like you said, Hades was sort of a creation trying to have a roguelike with a strong narrative, right? Kind of thing. So it makes sense to kind of, like you said, focus on that and keep the team focused on it. Because as soon as you add like a second player to it, it's like an exponent, really, in complexity. And I would agree. So, speaking of which, I guess, every project you've done so far, I think it was safe to say has been more ambitious than the previous. I mean, by quite a lot, too. I think going from Pyre to Hades and Hades to Hades 2. Did you ever have any plans to maybe taking a break between the more ambitious projects to create a smaller project? Is that something that could still happen in the future or anything like that, I guess?
Yeah, so I think the question, back to stepping back, I think the question that's interesting here is sort of like, how do we do this? Like, how do we decide what to make? Because, the straightforward answer here is, every game we make is in some way informed by the one we made right before it.
Yeah.
And so, we're always interested. We always have these questions that kind of inform how we go about the process of making the next one. And, I think for something like Hades coming from Pyre, for example, we knew that we were interested in making an early access game before we knew we were going to make a Greek mythology roguelike.
I see.
It's we have some of these almost like priorities and preoccupations and things we're excited to do that we then, figure out what the right game is as part of that process. And so, we've talked about this before. That's part of why we don't know, as we're working on a game, exactly what the next thing is, because we need to know how we feel about it, and we need to know what we've learned from it, and we need to take all of that and see where people are at as part of figuring out what's next for us. And so that's a way of answering the question, just in terms of with everything informed by the thing that came before it. Our experience in making that game and what we learned from it is basically what helps figure out what's next. And then you take that and you multiply it by all the people involved, and where are the overlaps in how they're feeling, and where is the overlapping excitement for certain ideas, and stuff starts to come together.
So what I'm hearing is that the next game, whether it's Hades or whatever, we're going to experience 12 zones, 22 gods, probably 64 different voice actors and all that stuff. Because I'm seeing the growth here, Amir. It doesn't seem like it's slowing down at any point.
What's interesting? I think that you use the word ambition. Raw ambition for us is not usually the starting point of anything we do. So I find that observation to be kind of interesting. In some ways, I felt like Pyre was one of our most ambitious games, because it was trying to do so much stuff we ourselves had not done before. And there's a unique song that's created based on your playthrough at the end of the game, based on the choices that you make and stuff like that. There's all these permutations of the ending, and you can lose every right, and the game still moves forward, and all this kind of stuff. So I found that kind of an interesting observation, because in our experience of making it, it's it just shows that sort of not what it's like to make it, and then what it might feel like on the other side for players is kind of not necessarily always matched up, but so, that's quite interesting. So
would you say that you guys at the studios, you don't necessarily feel like you're being ambitious enough? Do you ever find that to be a driving force, we need to take more risks or chances or anything like that?
I don't think that raw ambition is like a much of a motivating factor in most of our decisions, just because it's actually the opposite. We're a smaller team, or we either were or are, depending on what you consider a smaller team. And so we're really constrained on purpose by making things that this team can make and this team can make sustainably. And so that limitation is at the forefront of our mind whenever we think about stuff. And there are teams much bigger than ours that can do things much bigger than ours, and that's awesome. I love that those games exist, and they're some of my favorite experiences. And for us, we have to do something kind of right-sized for us.
I see. Well, in case there was any doubt from you or anyone on the team, I feel like every title you have made is ambitious, Amir, and you've always exceeded expectations in my mind. So just to be a fanboy for just the briefest moment there, at least. So,
well, thank you.
I guess, simple question, and I know, you can't answer like everything to the degree that people might want, but do you think Hades 2 is done?
Yeah. So, we are really a one thing at a time team. And so we're really right now focused on this launch and how this is going. So, we're looking at what's happening on the consoles and what's happening with the patch on all the places it is, and what's the feedback and what's the data and what are the bugs coming and all that kind of stuff. So right now our head is totally there. And if there's a problem to fix it. You observed, for example, I think in yesterday's stream that some of the audio is not correctly routed to every slider, and so we're looking at that as an example. There's small things like that, and so that's kind of where our head is at. We don't have like a there's right now there's nothing planned beyond what we're working on right now, and so.
Gotcha.
That's where that's at. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it does make sense. You got to see how this. I mean, it's the day after, so it's. I'll admit it's a bit unfair to ask what the hell you up to next, right? I did see a little leak from No Clip themselves, the documentary makers. They responded to a YouTube comment about a request for a Hades 2 documentary, and they said coming soon or something along those lines. Any comment on that?
I refer you to NoClip. In all NoClip related questions, I refer to NoClip themselves. I didn't see anything. I didn't see what you're talking about, so I'm not sure what it is. But I refer you to anything NoClip related to NoClip. I'm sure.
Gotcha. I'll sign the NDA later or something so we can talk about it.
It's worth asking though.
All right, just a couple more real quick, and this one's kind of a specific one that someone asked in my chat. Any consideration on, I know like we're talking about iterating the game here, but the missing health bar on Typhon, even, at the end game when you have no more unlocks, was there any consideration to, maybe give us an incantation that lets that come back, or did you just decide it's more fun this way? I guess, what was the decision there?
Yeah, no, I mean, so the Typhon experience is the experience we wanted. And so I know that request was, I've seen that request before.
Yeah.
It was in our official Discord feedback when we first released the War Song update and stuff like that. So that's definitely something I've seen. It's just I think it's just part of our intention, and the joy and the uniqueness of that fight is that there are 7 other fights with health bars, and so it's some of these things where for us it's part of the texture of the game, and maybe this is the part where we've fought him many times, so for us where we are in the fight is really clear, and I think for players who play a lot, where they are in the fight is pretty clear, like they're mostly right, and so for us it's just part of the experience, and part of the knowledge check we were talking about before, and just part of the atmosphere of that fight. So the idea of kind of both from a fiction standpoint and a gameplay standpoint, the idea of just kind of I don't know, doing an incantation or something, that wasn't something we wanted to do.
Yeah, that's interesting you brought that up, because thinking about it now, the more I played the game, the more obvious it is, okay, we're at this part of the fight. Now we're at this part of the fight, because it's broken up into different segments or phases, pretty naturally. And so once you play enough, it's kind of just another knowledge piece that you can gain the more you play. And it makes you feel like, you know something more than just if there was a health bar, I think. And kind of, I don't know, adds something special to it, I do think.
Yeah, there's other things too about it that made us want to keep it that way, but these things become part of the texture of it.
Yeah.
And that just becomes part of its identity, I guess.
All right. Well, last question really is just, what's next? Not like necessarily projects, but is there anything you want to plug or discuss? Do you have any open positions at the studio you want to talk about?
It's a great question. Yeah, no, I mean, we're all really focused right now on the reaction to patch 2, and it's too early to say what's next for us. But, I think in the more, cosmic existential sense beyond patch 2. But yeah, we're just really, if I have something to plug, it's this. It is that we are blown away, remain super, super just grateful for the love that Hades and Hades 2 have, and for the support of our team over 16 years of being together and allowing, all the players who allow us to do this work together. We feel very fortunate to be able to do this work, and we feel even more, just grateful that it resonates with so many people, and that it lands for them. And so, it's one of those things where, last time I came on, partly because I wanted to say thank you to you and the community. That's no different than now. It's still, people say stuff that's so motivating. I take little clips of it from our Discord. I sometimes take it honestly from your chat. Someone will say something. Amir. Someone will say something delightful. I'll snip it with the Windows tool, and I look at that stuff sometimes. It's just really motivating. So, yeah, I mean, we just, thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you, Amir. Thank you for making an amazing game, for being an amazing studio, and for, listening to the players and just, really creating something, out of fair player feedback. Like, we can all see that you really, really listened to what people had to say, and, while also maintaining your original vision for what you had and surprising us too, I think is always a massive part of it.
Yeah. I mean, we wanted to try and capture some of the surprise and delight of the original game, which meant having to change things up, and trying different things with it. And it's always great to hear from our players about how we're doing in that regard. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for coming, Amir. I appreciate it. It was great talking to you again. Hope we can talk again soon. We'll just hit me up. I'm available anytime, any day.
Well, I think you DM'd me this time, right?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, close enough. Yeah. I mean, whenever there's an excuse for me to DM you, I'm usually just like, so you want to talk?
Yeah. I said yes this time. You never know what's going to happen. All right.
Awesome. Have a great week. Give our best to the team, okay?
Will do. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Aw, that was great, wasn't it? I didn't even say Amir. Wasn't that awesome? That was great. There was a lot of great insight there, like legitimately. I really do think so. I think there was a lot there, and I'm gonna have to sort of digest a lot of it, because I think just like the little things, like the whole Bastion tagline, like I said, kind of thing. Like, that's how the game came to fruition, or that was the start of it to some degree, right? I feel like it was just like really interesting to get the idea of how the game's design came about and everything. The Pyre mentions there's so much love for Pyre, right? There was so much love for Pyre. And of course they are aligned with you know, just finishing up what they have here. And while we knew all along they weren't, based on previous interviews and stuff like that, they couldn't tell us too much about where they're going after this. But it makes sense because he said time and time again that they just don't know until, you know, they're moving on. And unfortunately, like, the timing of each interview is usually either right before or right after something happened, right? Oh man, that was cool though, huh? I think we got some really interesting information. Rip the co-op wanters, I guess I would say, based on his answer. Not that it's like off the table for future games of theirs, but the people are like, please add co-op to, you know, Hades 2 or something like that. And it sounds like it's a pretty resounding, you know, that's just not their focus or something. And also, I think the other fascinating thing about that interview is that he sort of explained how the dream dives came to fruition, not just from an idea standpoint, but from the actual, what would you describe it as? Just like the implementation process. They had time waiting for the Xbox and PlayStation ports to come through, kind of, to let some people from the team work on a new mode like that. So in other words, they had this gap, right? Okay. So we got some time until the ports are ready for PlayStation and Xbox. Why don't we try to add something else into the game for the long-term players and stuff? You're right. Add something else to the game that really spices up the variety and gives a bit more longevity to it. Really cool, right? Very, very cool. It's like they designed their own mod, right? Official mod support would go crazy. That's interesting, yeah, because he mentioned modding, and I kind of wish in hindsight I had dove further into that or something, right? Because I feel like you know, the fact that they're kind of clued into the modding scene, I mean, it's not a surprise, right, at the end of the day, but we never really discussed, you know, mods in the Hades games, you know what I mean? So I think that could be an interesting topic at some point, perhaps down the line, that we could discuss. You know, are there mods that they like? Did they ever have inspiration from mods that were already created for one of the games that made them change? You know, that maybe they got an idea from a mod and that they wanted to implement into their next game and things like that. Yeah, some interesting stuff, right? Question about mods. Cheat sheet inside his sunglasses. That's where Cersei hides the bodies. That was great, right? That was great. Perfect response from Greg. I'm gonna have to get a checklist here because we got to get Greg, right? We got to get Darren. You know, maybe someone like Gen Z or someone from the art team would be fantastic to get on the stream. You know, he mentioned Alice, who designs all the boons, supposedly. You know, I wasn't aware that it was that, you know, locked in. You know, that would be great. I mean, there's just so many great candidates to have on here that we could talk to. Right. Yeah, when it comes to art, I'd have to do a lot of work, I think, to prepare for that one. Because, you know, I'm not super, like, clued into how all this works, but maybe it would just be a great insight for someone who doesn't know that much about it, right? So art, am I right? Yeah. Do you take commissions? It's gonna be hard to come down from that. So obsessed with the art. It's such a huge glow up going from the first game to this game. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. I forgot to ask about the apples. I did. Yeah. I did forget to ask about the apples. Maybe I'll just DM him. Oh man. I could have kept going too. I mean, I had so many questions, right? But then he answered so many of them with some of his other answers that I started to run out, and I was kind of like starting to panic. It's like, oh shit, what the fuck do I ask now? Because I just wasn't ready. You know what I mean? 82 on Netflix. You know what would have been a great question that sadly he can't answer. So I did try to think about, like, I don't want to ask a bunch of questions that he can't give a real answer to, right? So I guess there would be no point in asking this question. But it is really curious. Hades 1 on mobile. It's still not available anywhere, correct? Nor is Hades 2, of course, right now, we know. But even Hades 1, which used to be available via Netflix on, I think, Android devices in particular, if I remember correctly, I think it's currently shelved. Like, you can't actually get it right now, not officially at least. And that was actually a while ago, like maybe a couple years ago or something, I'm gonna guess. I'm not sure, though. Not Android, was it Apple exclusive? Maybe that's what it was. Oh, you had it on iOS. Oh, okay, sorry. It was one or the other. I knew it was only available for like one type, if I remember correctly. Yeah. But yeah, I am really curious because there is essentially a port of Hades 1 out there for mobile, but no one can get it. Maybe it was made by Netflix? Is that how that works? Maybe. Hey, what's up, Beth? Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a nice stream. Oh, man. I'm going to have to digest where I'm going to be talking about this all day. I'm curious about that, but again, he probably wouldn't be able to speak to it, sadly. Right? Safe to say. Okay, it would be great if I could get the game to show up on stream, though. Agreed? The Rag? I think the Rag made some appearances. Port is out there. What's up, Evie? Ava Nicole, what's up? How you been? Thank you so much for the 6 months. For some reason I can't get the game to show up. Okay, there it goes. I guess I just had to move around or something. Did I use the Rag? Well, whenever I take a ticket, okay. Look, chat, there's nothing wrong with this Rag. It's beautiful. See, look at it. It's just, you know, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But I have to wipe the corners of my mouth pretty much every time I take a sip of coffee. I have to. I don't know why. Are we going to be doing dream stuff today? Yeah, pretty much all day. I might do a run or two, like a normie run on the surface to see if we can get the Heracles bath. You know? How am I drinking it, though? I don't know. Maybe I just got loose lips or something. I don't know what my problem is. It's not fair, chat, I say. It's not fair.
Quiet, you guys. She's up.
Quiet. Be quiet. Okay. So, we have to try Artemis Daggers again, since I failed last time. I think so. I think so. I think I have to. It might be tough. These, a lot of these might be a big L. And you know what? The question... I was just worried he wouldn't really be able to say anything about this. But the boss scaling, right now in the Dream Dives, I'm really curious what the hell's going on with some of them. Namely the ones that are like super boosted. Like getting Kronos as your fourth boss is insane. Like, I don't really get it. If you get Kronos as your fourth boss, where you would normally see him, right? He has 50% more health in a Dream Dive. 50% more health. Chat. Yeah. Also deals 20% more damage. If you get him as your third boss, he has 5% less health. So that's pretty bad when you think about it. That's pretty bad, because you're practically getting a full Kronos fight at the end of the third region, which is rough, right? I got Polyphemus as your fourth boss, and I think he really needs the 6 times HP. He still felt squishy. Really? Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Want to just party down? What do we got here? Everything on? Everything seems to be on. Arto miss. Kind of intended as a challenge mode, considering it's gated behind the credits. Seems a bit heavy-handed, though. You know what I mean? You need to wake Hypnos first one. Like, yep, I just published a YouTube video that, like, in the first couple minutes just tells you how to unlock it real quick if you need to know. What the unlock criteria is for the Dream Dives, you just gotta wake up Hypnos. That's it. That's all. You cannot wake up Hypnos until you've seen the credits. And then you might have to go talk to Medea also to get the third dream vapor thing, basically. You know what I mean? That didn't work for me, Dan. You already woke up Hypnos? And you don't have them? You don't have the dream. You don't have the dream dive? Zhang, don't do this. You have to find the fates? Zhang also found the fates? Zhang's a one-off. Her save file's fucked or something. That's the only explanation now. That's the only explanation now. Because everything I read everywhere was just like, you get it as soon as you wake up Hypnos. Turns out Zhang didn't get to update the game yet. Oh, maybe. Do you want my save file, Zhang? Seriously. I can send it over if you'd rather. I don't even know what... Try talking to Medea again? Yeah. Maybe at that point. Speaking of which, I heard there's like a new incantation or something. Am I crazy? Restore Icarus to his living form, quite briefly, and only during a full moon. Grants +1 ectoplasmic drought. I kind of don't understand. Oh, is this just like, this is when you get to bang them? Gotcha. Yeah, I don't really remember the storyline already. Ah! Don't tell Greg. I've already forgotten. It's a blur, man. It's a blur. The fuck juice? Ooh. Chat. Does this have anything new to say? Let me turn that up. Temporarily.
Congratulates the dream-walking princess for conquering her darkest fears and having finally.
I think I actually already did read this.
Wait, I did it. My worries are cured. Huh.
I like the counting sheep
for your
thing.
Enthusiastic participation in dream dives.
Lovely. Okay. So these can be quite hard depending on the order of zones that you do get here. There's actually a decent chance I don't win a lot of these runs. So I'm going to give you a simple win this run. Excuse me. Bet. It's going to be Aspect of Artemis, the usual 34 fear, Dream Dive. Place some bets, place some bets, place some bet. I'm going to keep that volume up temporarily at least.
There's fear in the air.
There's fear in the air. Okay. The new and improved Aspect of Artemis, the parry cooldown was buffed. Used to be a 14-second cooldown. Now it is only 10 seconds. Can we have a funny bunny Artemis run? Let's see. Let's just do the usual loadout, shall we? Of course, we're going to dream dive
Faith
it.
of my comrades.
We shall dream dive it. We got the usual loadout otherwise. Let's go, let's go, let's go. 34 fear. I don't know if
This is fate.
this matters for dream dives, the fate altered or not, and I'm probably going to say that too often.
I need to relax.
Let's go. Let's see if Hypnos has any new dialogue for us too here. Because we've done the fair share, but yeah, this looks like there's still more to talk about. Wait, review? Oh, okay, that just tells you about them again.
Huh?
For a second, I thought they were going to let you look at your record or something.
You mentioned something about needing 30 shiny stars, and then my worries would be cured. Am I supposed to feel any different in some way by now?
For sure. You should experience a growing sense of accomplishment the more shiny stars you get. There's a one-to-one link. More stars means more accomplishment, and that means better rest.
I suppose I do feel more at ease than I did before all this, when you were fast asleep within the crossroads still.
See? It's working! And it can work even better if you get more you-know-whats. Now dive away!
It's not
Sweet
working.
dreams!
I'm still tired, Hypnos. I'm still tired. Oh boy, the
Dream
summit.
and reality can be...
Oh boy, the summit. Let me change the, some of this stuff real quick. Let me change the stream title too before I forget. Oh, shut up, Kronos! Oh god, I'm dying. Oh, that made me laugh. Alright, what do we think here? Got Garrow's Dash. Hestia to start. Not who I'd prefer to see on the attack. Ooh, but her cast is always good. Yeah, I don't think you want to go with the attack. Not with Aspect Artemis. Don't make a lick of sense, I think. Let's see. I'm not really worried about the boss here. I think there's quite a few instances where the... Oh, whoops, I think I have auto doodad on. There's quite a few instances where the timer's going to be a big issue in these dream dives. I think it will be, actually. It might just be something lame like Mean Streak for now, just because it at least gives me some amount of weapon damage. So I don't think hard target's really going to help me that much. We kind of just need whatever we can get. I don't know if I really spend enough magic for Selene, but I guess I'll do it. Amir's right to preempt Jeweled Palm. Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that, honestly, because I would love to. I loved the fact that he brought it up so that I could pay compliments to the addition of the new keepsakes, because it really was something that brought a lot of life back into the game for me, at least. They're so good. They're so much fun. They add so much variety. It's probably a boring-ass Moonwater. Ooh, well, you can't really skip Dio's Chamber, probably, sadly. But half would have been great for a potential attack or special. Maybe he'll come back. Worry-free is pretty terrible, no matter what you do. Although, on the dagger attack, it's, like, closer to being okay, but still not okay. Drunken Stupor it'll have to be. Poseidon. Certainly not who I want. Might have to accept like a Flood Gain or something. Really don't want his attack though. Is there any shot I skip this mini-boss and see what the next mini-boss is instead, I wonder? Where's Heracles' Man Cave pool? I don't think he's gonna appear when you're doing a dream dive. Like, none of those events will happen then, I'm afraid. Which is kind of too bad. It's kind of interesting, but they probably just didn't want to mess with potential narrative problems by allowing things to happen in an out-of-order biome run, if that makes sense. The Snar. I guess we do need to do that, so... That we do. That we do. Haha, yes. I do gotta do that. It's hard to force it, though. Rip. Yeah, these options aren't really interesting. It could wind up being like a special run, so you could take it as special for now, because we don't know what the hammer is. Ocean Swell is okay. But yeah, this could actually be kind of useful in its own way. Alright. I sound unhappy with the idea. Which one? The Sneasnar run? It's more so like just the daunting idea of just like, oh, I gotta try to make sure I get 100% Sneasnar. Any of those runs that require like a dozen or more resets, it's just kind of like, oh no. Oh no. Oh, sweeping ambush. We got, oh, you know what we gotta try? We gotta try Morrigan with Rapid Onslaught in particular again. But for now, let's do the Sweepy Ambush for this, for sure. And we might be able to start doing, like, chain Omega attacks if we get enough magic regen, too. Please, dude. Look at that. Without an attack boon, too. Dude, are you serious? Lady Demeter. Maybe I shouldn't have used that moon water here. This guy. This guy. Swambush? Swambush? We're not calling it that, are we? Alright, I should be using the special. I'm still gonna transform this. Oh. I don't think I've had latest model with Sweeping Ambush. It's probably gonna buff the 400%. Let me see. Hello? 600%? Get a screenshot of that. Oh my god. I mean, usually it is like a 50-ish% increase on a lot of hammers. But I'm quite surprised on this one. Oh no, we need like a really good magic regen now then, don't we? Nice quick chamber there. Like really good. Oh no, is Flood Gain good enough? Either way. What's up, Bowman? It's so broked. Oh, come on. Come on, Mel. Hit me. Bonk. Damn it. Bum bum ba do do. A common Flood Gain. Hestia's in the pool. She's the only other god in the pool right now. I wouldn't want Cardio Gain. Common Flood Gain is not great, and I don't want his attack either at all. I'm definitely not taking the attack. You think I don't settle? It's the first zone only. We'll be fine, right? Then I have to take a useless boon, that being Geyser Spout. No, we can't take Glamour Gain either, but her attack, I guess, her attack would be juicy still. No attack, rip. Secret Crush's power, which is actually quite big when we have plus 600% from the hammer already. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to have to buy that too. I'm not going to buy the water though. Okay, here we go. I play Nine Souls, loves Nine Souls. Great game. Gonna watch the VODs later. I'm afraid I think that was like right before I started the VOD channel. It was like right before. So Restoroni. The blowjob bros aren't too bad for your first zone here, if I remember correctly. Wait. Bonk. Let's use one of these. Heracles is down. We got the bottom. We got the middle. We got a middle. We got the bottom. Even like last, they might be one of the easier ones. Swing, baby. Holy shit. It's still a long zone, though. Like, that took quite a while, even though the boss was pretty quick, right? That was quite the sound. Yeah, well, Amir said it in their interview that some of the sounds are still a little off kilter for some reason or another. Hilby, what's up?
Eagle guy again. Good job.
Thank you so much for the 61 months. Give me the Zag keepsake. Ooh, that's good for now. Sure. Breath of Arrows. Would block a hit? I guess so. It's very cheap. This is kind of a cool run so far. You like bowling him in the dream dive for how much pain he usually does? Yeah. I think I have a transform still. Guess it's a pretty good time for chaos though if I were to do it. Plus we have the breath of arrows here to get back the health I lose, so. Oh no. No. I'm not taking the middle one. The bottom one's not very useful. The top one's not very useful. This is why you end up avoiding chaos and jeweled palm runs, really. Just don't get hit, right? It's actually kind of an interesting choice to potentially take the Path of Stars. What can you buy with the shiny stars? Cosmetics. That's pretty much all she wrote. Do not get stunned, do not get stunned, do not get stunned. Okay. Swing, baby. Bonk. Yeah, I gotta take these runs quite a bit more seriously than before because some of these boss orders can be rough. Apollo's attack would be good. Very good. Well, his magic regen is still excellent, I think. How much do I need to rarefy it here? Probably that's it. 105 per cast. Our mega attack, I think, cost 30. I'm not going to pull off 3 omega attacks in that time, I'd imagine. I think that's fine. Pretty sure. There we go. That's good at least. That is good at least. Hey, we got Fartimus. Okay, so now I can start chaining here. Right? Oh my god. Oh, come on. Stop! Stop! The stun got me there a bit. Damn, dog. Let's not use our cure yet. Shadow Pounce. It's actually kind of interesting. All of these are takeable. Which one? So this is where you need to have the knowledge. Which one scales the best with these rarefies? Because I want to rarefy whatever we take here. But I don't remember which one is better depending on the rarities here. I'm going to guess it's Lethal Snare. That's a lot of crit chance now. I don't think we'll need Mist Veil. I kind of just want this because it's funny, but I shouldn't. I shouldn't. Oh, I so want Apollo's attack. Okay, we're going to skip Arachne for it. Or Blinding Rush, since I don't have Origination yet. So, some good options here. Okay, very good. Oh, it's so juicy. This is going to be an insane run. Please don't let me die. Boink. Boink. Okay, no need. I don't think there's any need to Moonwater for now. There is the shop. More power would be good. We do have Hestia in the pool, therefore I will buy the fire element. Travel deal to because it's fire also. This is kind of just hoping for slow cooker down the line. Gives us more options in the future too. More Aphrodite. Wouldn't really want her dash much, but we'll take it obviously. Bye-bye 69,000 obols. That's why you always vote yes, baby. That's why. Hello? Oh, come on, game. I even have it up. The stun's still getting me. Wait. No, that curse is over. I lied. I think I'm going to use a Moonwater now. There is Passion Rush. Heartbreaker's not that bad here. Don't like Passion Rush. I don't like Passion Rush. Heartbreaker's funnier, right? More money. You don't need magic stuff. 80 stuff you believe in, Dan? But all other stuff? Well, you didn't have to add the last sentence there. I don't understand. You could have stopped right there. Oh. Charity bottle. What do we got? Braid of Atlas. That's for cast damage. Okay, I will take that still. Ooh. Yes. Beating Lampmaster first try. Get smoked, baby. Get smoked. There's Blinding Rush. Problem solved. Dun-dun. So now, like, Rapid Onslaught might be interesting just to... The Mega Attack charge is insanely fast already. I don't think it's necessary to get something like... Oh! More power. Oh. Oh my god. More fire, please. Oh. Yes. Don't mind if I do. Not you. I guess I'll take the health. Don't need rock for anything. Molder ring went up. This is pretty silly. Being a strength champion, but with high vow of rivals, just can't do it. Get your ass beat. Well, I mean, my experience is that strength just makes the game easier for me. Like, straight up. Unless I have, like, reduced healing on from the vows, strength straight up makes the game easier by, like, a substantial portion, too. And so that's usually what I try to tell people, too, is, like, I really do think for most people, it'll just make the game easier. Might as well use one of these now. This is zone 2. Let's use that. Which one do we think? This one! Aha! Okay, now I don't know, though. It's the one down there. Yep. What? Got her. Do I have all the prereqs to get the Apollo Legendary? I kind of forgot about it. I'm gonna have to look. Maybe? Lucid Game, Blinding Rush. I should have paid attention.
That old lady didn't stand a chance.
I should have paid attention. When I stopped taking rerolls, I think a part of my brain just turned off. Yeah, I definitely skipped some potential prereqs for it. I stopped thinking about some of that stuff, honestly.
Which one would help?
I don't think there's a hammer that could hurt us, so...
The hammer.
Yeah, not great, but whatever. Can't ask for too much. Still take that, I think. What do we got?
Deeper into dream.
Cerberus for our third boss. Cerberus actually gets a big boost here as third boss, even though Cerberus is normally a third boss, right? I think he has 50% more health, if I remember right. But only deals something like 7% more damage. I don't know why 7%. It's such a precise number, right? Still don't have the Hypnos mode. Poor Zhang. Bonk. 3144, baby. Woo, baby. Smoke him. What are you doing wrong? I happen to have a, you know, I didn't want to bring this up, Zach, but I happen to have a connection, so maybe, you know, it's a tight schedule lately, you know, let me tell you, but maybe I could, you know, reach out and see if I could get something done for you, you know, have them look into this, you know, because it's not fair, right? Maybe, you know? Boink, boink, boink. Oh, it's so good. Sunny Dispo. Spiritual affirmation doesn't do much. That Wispy Wilds is quite nice, but Sunny Dispo is just fun, right? No fire here. It's not gonna be that bad. Only one exit and it's not the mini-boss. Uh-oh. At least we get the hammer, I guess. There's a chance we get scammed out of a mini-boss or something here, if I remember right. Or is it Echo, potentially? Maybe it's just Echo, potentially. Yeah, it sounds like there might just be an issue at that point, Zhang, because I was reading, someone said, oh, I just woke up Hypnos, and it'll let me do it. And I'll admit that since it's only been a day since the patch arrived, I based a lot of the how to unlock this thing on that one user. Because there just weren't a lot of people that knew yet. The scientific process, as you do. As you do. Greg just posted some hot new artwork. Ooh, I'm gonna have to take a look in a sec. So I don't think we need Rapid Onslaught, but Skulking Onslaught is even more hot D. This isn't necessary because we channel instantly, basically, anyway. Give me that Skulk. Give me that Skulk. Ooh, yeah. Okay, we did still get Echo, and we got one mini-boss, so we should get offered another mini-boss here. Hopefully someone that offers fire, at least. And or Apollo.
See you next time.
Not exactly what I was hoping for. I mean, Trick Knives is obviously good. There's actually that slight thing here, I would say. A very mild reason you might not want Trick Knives. It might eat up some of your crit potential. We'll try Strength some more. When you fight Rival Skilla, she kills you quickly. She is a big roadblock, I won't lie. She is. Okay, so we're going to take Backburner since it's fire and it's a prereq and it's more damage. All those things at once. She is quite the barrier, so you got to go in. Oh, legendary? Yo, just like that? No way? Oh. But I wanted it. Guess I'm going to take Dazzling Display. And Apollo? Tried. There you go. There's your C-Star, chat. You happy? There's your C-Star. Oh, this is a pretty wild build. Hit me? Hello? Focus. Ow. Ba, 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 ba. I never want to let go of the attack button now is my only issue. Parry ready. Go! Almost got him. This is with 50% more health, by the way, than usual.
Return now to your master in abode.
Yeah, Greg actually said that Zane couldn't see Hypnos in particular because of all that Rule 34 artwork she posted featuring Hypnos. Final zone. Yeah. Speed doesn't really do much. Monies. Yeah. Not Chronos, not Chronos, not Chronos, not Chronos. Did I already fight Chronos? I don't think I did. Not Chronos. I don't have that much money, interestingly.
I'm guessing the summit.
Not Chronos, not Chronos, not Chronos. It's gonna be a stage for Polyphemus. Okay, so interestingly here, I've heard that a region for rival Polyphemus is insane. Is it 9 times health or something? It's pretty wild. Like the amount of health is kind of insane. Warm Breeze is not fire. I'm just gonna take Hot Pot then.
That's hot.
You don't think it felt like it? You had Rivals on too? Okay, we could get the legendary here too. Sick. Holy Hestia. You dead? Oh. I was watching, someone posted in the speed cord, them fighting Polyphemus with White Antler on. And the fight took a long time. And I was just like, holy shit. Maybe I'm tuning a God Gamer. We'll just take highly flammable here. We want more fire. I figured we'd take Hestia first. And maybe we can get Warm Breeze from her, thus increasing the odds that the Apollo Legendary could appear before us. Snuffed candle for sure.
Let's get them great on tea.
Ah, I almost left. Have another. Bet I don't need that. Please. Need to do 4 more runs after waking up Hypnos? That's such a precise number. Wonder why 4. Ow. Holy numbers. Hey. No do the bone. Do I take the fire now? Or okay, I'm gonna take Warm Breeze. We'll forgo 1 fire to ever so slightly increase the odds of getting the Apollo Legendary. Boom. 3rd time? Wait. We got a new voice line. Because it's the 3rd time it triggered. Let's go. Try the voice you can't hear Poseidon. It's exactly how I want it. Someone hit me. Anyone. Don't you swing at me, bitch. Ow, 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 ow. Stupid flames. Woo! This is probably the wildest run I've had until... Ooh, I didn't realize this was fire, too. No haha, yes? Think? Medea probably can't do that much here, is the truth, right? Both Afro and Poseidon do not have any fire. I already have the Heartbreaker from her. Could get more health from Poseidon. I guess we don't want the max magic. I think we fight some Afro. Hit me. Boing. This is insane. Hello? Ah, this poor little guy. There's still like shameless attitude and stuff. Wispy Wiles. Give me the shat. How's the change feel in the riposte? Well, I don't know if it really feels any different, right? Because it's just a reduced cooldown. Feeling generous. Admittedly, I don't think Aspect of Artemis feels different on the outset. It doesn't, you know, I'm not just like, wow, this feels so much better. It's still just more about the rhythm and how much I like the Omega attack. Now, it just so happened that this run was great for the Omega attack, but I've had a lot of Aspect of Artemis runs where you kind of just don't get the kinds of hammers you'd hope for. And it can wind up just feeling like, doesn't feel like it has the right identity, I guess, is how I would describe it. More fire. More fire. Holy fire. Spiritual AF now. A lot of health. I'll take it. 500 health even. Don't mind if I do. Pervious for 1 second. Then I have 1 left. Get a 5th charge. What do you think? You think we're doing pretty good? Boing. I saw 5K. 9180. Oh, that might have been Knucklebones in hindsight. Never mind. False alarm. Oh, honey.
That'll show him.
Victory!
That was wild. Holy shit. The sweet, sweet damage. The sweet, sweet damage. There's so much to show off in this run. There's so much. So, I mean, obviously a 600% sweeping ambush. Big attack. Lethal snare. That's a lot more crit chance out of it. Exceptional talent. Bang. Where's Slow Cooker now? Might be on the next page, actually, here. We did have a couple other hammers that did assist. Skulking Onslaught. Not so much Trick Knives. I mean, Sunny Dispo probably did. Oh, look, Heartthrobs are actually second in the damage. Okay, hold on. Let me hide chat for a sec. Heartthrobs are actually second in the D. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. I mean, we were spending a lot of magic, but still. Still. Wow. That was crazy fun. What was Slow Cooker at again exactly? 26 more power from Slow Cooker. Not to mention, I can't highlight both. Secret Crush gave us another 9. Whew. Sheesh. That was crazy. That was a crazy run. That was so good. 3 more runs after waking up Hypnos to get it. So you had, if you just took some death saying like on purpose and you were good. It felt like a no fear run. It was pretty laid back, I won't lie. We didn't get any of the crazy hard bosses, I don't think, that I would really want to avoid here at a glance. Hecate was 3rd? I don't even recall this. No, Hecate was 2nd. Wait, who, oh, that's Cerberus. Oh, okay. That was Cerberus. Well, yesterday, I took quite a few L's. Quite a few L's. 4 stars. Let's go. Fear's Last Zone is fun, yeah. I kind of want to fear every single run, though. And it feels kind of bad when you don't get it.
Again.
I love the new Hypnos portraits.
Dream dive complete.
Dream dive complete. What are the stars for? Cosmetics. So I could buy her new chaotic form. Prophecy fulfilled. There was a prophecy? Prophecy foretold. Audio desynced. Anyone else having this issue? You might just have to refresh.
You are. I like it.
You had to shake off so much rust. Me too. Haha.
Hey, you're conscious. What do you think, Dora?
Effigy's hypnotic. I thought I unlocked this.
Let's do it. Got it.
You hadn't played since January?
These in Elysium anymore. We have our ways. There. It's decided. Excellent. Could use an extra splash of color near that blanket thing.
Bust of Hypnos. Receptacle of shiny stars. Ooh, that's fun. Can you use these anywhere in the Crossroads? Like, are there more cosmetics outside of here? Let me go take a look. Last played December 19th. Where is she? Is it just the training grounds? It looks like it's just the training grounds. Just kind of checking everything here real quick. Stardust. Oh, now we get this. You get Nightmare from a prophecy. Oh, that's for the 30 stars. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I have to get a win for each. So we still have to do the axe? Really? No, we did a... Oh, it was a non-dream dive run with the axe. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Transmutation complete.
Boom, ba, 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 boom, boom, ba. Where's his, There it is. It's on the second page here. Make some more. Why not? Charybdis is so much worse than a dream dive. Interesting. Huh? I still have gifts for her. Oh, now we can gift continuously. That's right. Okay, so we gotta do an axe run. We did a swordy droppy run yesterday. Didn't it end up being like a big sword drop thing? So I guess I'm not gonna revisit that. We'd still like to see more Sea Star, I think, in terms of things that are different. Besides that, yeah, not a whole lot. I tend to avoid Aspect of Than, I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Rocky. I wonder if it's like Freenos or something here, potentially. More than Rocky or something. Special dialogues. If you use Thanatos, I wouldn't know why.
So how's that dream comforter been working out? Living up to its name or what? If only it had not been placed so cruelly out of reach. What am I, Tantalus over here?
Poor Skelly locked into the spot, huh? Poor Skelly. How many hours in Hades 2 already? I got almost 1,300 now. Go Mel for a big health run? Nah, it can't control it enough unless I take off Jewel Palm, and I don't think I feel like it.
It's more than just a plush blanket. It's a gateway into a dream from Lord Hypnos himself. Would you like to try it? I could try dragging you over.
So she's quiet compared to him for some reason.
Oh, I'll not give in to such temptations, young one. I would never, under any circumstances, abandon my post. But if I were you, I would be lights out over there right now.
Well, let me know if you change your mind.
Rip. Just leave it, right? I wonder why it's been bad again lately. Like, it's not a VSync thing even now. This is bullshit, I tell ya. I might have to save the recording, just in case we start crashing. Yeah, VSync off. It's this goddamn webcam, I tell ya.